Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just filmed an entire 40-minute video with no audio. Last week we talked about how to tell if you have a toxic friend, and this week is how can you be around a toxic person without them having that influence on your life and then compromising who you are as a person, okay? So let's go over some things. First, we need to understand the difference between a negative to a person and something they need to work on, because we're all human and we all have something we need to work on, and a toxic trait. So we all have things we need to work on, right? I have a problem with words. I don't mean things that I say in the way I say them, so that's something I work on. Every day I have to work on that. If I would not work on that, that'd make it a toxic trait, is because I have this flaw about me, but I'm working on it to get better. If you're not constantly getting better, you're staying in the same place, or you're getting worse. Honestly, you're getting worse. And that's when it becomes a toxic trait. So you need to understand the difference. I don't want you to just go out and be like, you're toxic, you're toxic, you're toxic. You can't be around me because you're a toxic person, and I don't hang around toxic people. I'm holier than thou. You can't do that. You can't. You have to be around these people and also understand what's a personal flaw that somebody needs to work on. And maybe they know it, maybe they don't know it, but you gotta take it for what it is. Now, we're gonna talk about boundaries and some what to do, what not to do's when you have a toxic person in your life. You know they're toxic, it's constant, it's consistently toxic, negative. So here is the importance of setting boundaries, okay? First of all, one toxic person can destroy everything. Not an army of toxic people. One toxic person can destroy everything, because oftentimes you don't realize it. You don't realize it when somebody's having a bad influence on you. Toxic people weren't just born toxic, it's developed. You have to develop it. Everybody has the potential to be a toxic person. The person watching this, you, right through this camera, I'm talking to you. You have the potential to be a toxic person. So when you don't set these boundaries and you talk about whatever you want with these people, you do whatever you want with these people, then you become a toxic person if you don't set these boundaries. So that is why it is so important to set these boundaries. But let's get into it. So what to avoid if it's a toxic person? Number one, if this person leans negative and they kind of pick out people's flaws and tear other people down, avoid critical conversations. Avoid saying things like that. Something that could potentially be negative, avoid it, because they will take it and run with it. Just find a way to reverse the conversation topic on something that cannot possibly go negative. They will find a way, trust me, they will, but you shut the way down. Number two, don't gossip, period. Like, don't gossip at all. With this person, not around this person, don't gossip. Gossip, no good comes from gossip, because gossip is negative. It is negativity just swarming, like you're letting it come out of your mouth, and that is not okay. So don't gossip, especially around these people, especially because they'll turn it against you like that. Honestly, the do's and don'ts of what to do around a toxic person are practically the same thing, because one goes with each other. And then number three, I wouldn't have personal conversations with them. Look, don't get super personal on what's going on in your life, okay? Toxic people are gossipers. So if you don't want the world knowing it, don't tell the person that'll tell the world. I mean, just avoid it. Don't tell somebody that is toxic something that is confidential, something that is personal, you don't want them to tell anybody. Don't tell it. Stick to the weather, even if it's awkward. You know, it's even more awkward than talking about the weather, having to apologize to everybody because they know all your business, okay? Do not give a toxic person ammunition. This goes along with don't gossip from the don'ts. So don't give them ammunition. They can't say that you said anything unless they're lying, which, don't get me wrong, a toxic person will lie on you. Trust me, it's happened to me several times. Let's put this into perspective. A rumor that's not true doesn't last as long as a rumor that is true. So if you really did say something hurtful about somebody else and you told that toxic person that, then they're gonna tell. It's a lot easier to be like, hey, I didn't say that, than hey, I did say that, I'm sorry. It's a lot easier to put out that fire than the other. Don't give somebody ammunition to use against you. They can't use something against you if you don't give it to them. When you are in a conversation with a negative person, constantly be thinking, could this backfire on me? Could what I'm saying, like, could they use this against me and could it get me in a mess of trouble? Could this backfire? Let that constantly be going through your head. Could this backfire? That is what to avoid when you're around a toxic person, what to do around a toxic person. Put up the proper walls. So there's certain things that these people can do in your life, but there's certain things that these people can't do. I'll go eat lunch with you, but I'm not gonna go on a road trip with you because you're not in that position in my life. Because you're toxic, you don't have that. So this is me putting up a wall to where there's certain things we can do together, there's certain things we can't do together. It's my walls, it's what I'm doing to protect myself from you. I will have a conversation with you about the weather, but I'm not gonna ask for counsel from a toxic person. I'm not gonna ask you what I should do in a certain situation, okay? Number 2, lower your expectations for these people. So many people would not get hurt if they just lower their expectations of people. I've experienced hurt at a very young age, but it was my fault. It was my fault because I expected somebody to be something, to be there for me in a way that they just couldn't. They couldn't be there for me, that they were incapable. It's not their fault. They were literally incapable of being the person that I thought they could be. My expectations for this person was too high, so I got hurt. And that's what hurt so bad, is that I could have avoided it. It was my fault. I could have avoided it if I had just set my expectations to what they were worth. I'm not saying to sit down and write a pros and cons list. You don't have to do that. But I'm saying you need to be aware of what they bring to the table, their goods, their pros, but also their cons, and what outweighs. Does the good outweigh the bad with these people? And that's kind of how you know where to set your expectations for them. Just realize you need to lower your expectations for this person, that they can't, they're literally incapable of reaching the expectations that you have for them. Number 3, radiate positivity. Build people up. Radiate it. You are the glass half full person. You're the life of the party. You're on cloud 9 24/7, on top of the world. You are the person that everybody wants to be around except the toxic people. Here's what I mean by that. A toxic person's friends are just like them. So if you're that person that radiates positivity, then a toxic person's not gonna wanna be around you. If you lift somebody up that a toxic person's trying to tear down, toxic person's not gonna be around you. So 1, problem solved. And 2, you're a person that everybody likes except the toxic people. All the good people like you because you radiate positivity. You are a good, positive person and you constantly lift somebody up. So this last one is so important in any relationship, toxic or non-toxic. This is so important, okay? You need to make your boundaries known. Everybody will tell you that in any relationship, whether that's romantic, a friendship, you need to make your boundaries known, but you especially need to make your boundaries known around a toxic person. Let me give you an example here. When somebody talks about somebody else negative and they're pointing out their flaws, I get severely uncomfortable. Like severely uncomfortable. I don't want to be here right now because this is wrong. Something like that, it makes me uncomfortable. So you have to be the person that's, hey guys, this is not okay. Like, I'm not comfortable with this. This is not okay. You're talking about somebody behind their back. You're talking about somebody and pointing out their flaws that they cannot control. They can't fix that about somebody. So this is not okay. Like, make your boundaries known. Make it known that you're not okay when they talk about that. Make it known that you're not okay when this person does that. You have to make your boundaries known. When you make your boundaries known, they're gonna try to take down your boundaries a little bit. They're gonna try, Brooklyn, come on, we're just kidding. It's just a joke. One of the most hurtful things somebody can ever do is make a joke. It's funny, but it hurts. I cannot tell you how many times I've been called a buzzkill. I mean, just being a Christian in general, you're gonna be called a buzzkill because you're not gonna wanna drink. You're not gonna wanna go to parties. You're gonna be called a buzzkill. But it's a sacrifice you have to make, okay? So you gotta put up these boundaries and you gotta stay strong on your boundaries. You can't join in with the crowd. You gotta be the minority. You gotta be the person that's saying, no, I'm not doing this. That's not okay. This is not okay. This shouldn't be normalized. We shouldn't be talking about somebody else like this. They can't control that. Why would you be doing that? You have to make it known that, hey, these are my boundaries. So they will try to downplay your boundaries and downplay what you are setting and you're saying is wrong. Like, this shouldn't be a debate. This shouldn't be a thing that I shouldn't be called a buzzkill because I'm standing up for something wrong, but you will. You will be called these things. You will be embarrassed. Somebody will try to make a joke out of you, make you look like an idiot. So be prepared, but it is necessary for you to put up these boundaries and make them known to this toxic person. Don't click off the video just yet. I'm talking to you right now because you need to listen to this. You need to hear what I'm about to say. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. I'm trying to add value to your life. So this is going to be valuable to you. You can use this, and I hope you write this down because this is so important. Everybody has the ability to influence, whether that's good or whether that's bad. But you need to every day be working on being the best version of you so you can have a good influence on somebody. You want to influence toxic people. The best way to influence somebody is to lead by example. So if you are constantly being the best version of yourself, and you're always working on being better, and you're radiating positivity, and you're just a good person to be around, then you can have a good influence on somebody. You can't make somebody want to be better. You can't. And you're gonna really give yourself a headache and a hard time going down a dead-end road, because it's a dead-end road with a bomb at the end of it, because toxic people are the worst. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I brought clarity into your life. I hope I brought value into your life on how to be around a toxic person, what to do, what not to do, the do's, the don'ts, whatnot. But I also hope I inspired you to be the best version of you. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So constantly, every day, be working to be a better version of yourself. Share this to somebody who needs it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys next time with another video.